Well, we're just finishing up the game against the Kings, the first of two in a row against them. And as the game went on, the weather got worse, so the fans emptied out. But we managed to keep the game close for most of it. But at the end, it was a 9 point game. So, what do you think, Dave? How'd that game go?
Yeah, it was just a rough game. There was moments that it went really, really well, and there's moments that it was just hard to see. When we game down to what was it, 1 or 3 points? I think it was 3 points.
Yeah, one
A couple
possession.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we were able to get like this deep breath, but the Kings, I mean, they're a top five team in the West. I mean, I think they're the fourth or the third team in the West right now, and they're a great team, guys. This is not a I don't think there should be ever like an indication that this is bad. Like I understand that people are going to be upset that this is not something that they want to see, but development and it's something that we've been saying a lot out here isn't always pretty. It's not something that's always going to look great. It's something that needs and it's always going to be one of those things that we just need to take a step back and recognize that if it's not going to be the outcome that we want, it's okay.
Isaiah Joe had a slow start to this game. Big game last game, and he finished really strong. He ended up with 24 points. They started the game, but then they came back and brought him off the bench for the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Wiggins, who had played really well in the first half, he started the second half, and it's just good to see, coach kind of looking for answers. But in the end, it was pretty obvious we were missing Shea out there.
Yeah, I mean, Shea takes up so much space. If you think about the 17 ish, 15, 17 shots that he takes a game and how many times he gets to the foul line, it's hard to make up. It's hard to make up for that offense. It's hard to make up for the defense that he brings out there with his 7 foot wingspan and the other things that he does that are so amazing. So, talking about one player standing out and making it known that they're doing well, it wasn't one player that stood out to me. It was Lindy Waters is 12 points and JRE 7 and Kendricks Williams 7 and Wiggins is 7 and you go starting lineup, man. You got 18 for Dort and 18 for Giddy and Jay Will had 5, which I felt he did a phenomenal job. Getting extra stuff. Um, J Dub with 15 points, man. Like all these guys are putting out there and doing some great things, and it has to be a team effort. And playing without Shea sucks, but learning these guys learning how to play together without Shea is only going to make him stronger. And it's only going to make him better for the push that we're going to have. And it just, to me, this is exactly the type of team effort we needed to see tonight.
Giddy, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. And somehow for us, we're just kind of used to these experiences. But a
Sure,
20-year-old going out and putting out games like this is really exceptional. And
absolutely.
now, we know he's the main guy to stop on this scouting report when Shea's out.
Yeah,
So he's taking on an extra burden. We were talking about it during the game while we were live, but one thing that we saw Giddy do this game was use change of speed, change of direction. Last game was a lot of lowering his shoulder and trying to get by the guy. This game, he would stop and go. He would go into different moves, and it was very effective for him. I thought he did a good job this game.
you're right. And I'm so glad you're giving Josh Giddy credit because he really deserved was able to do after his last game and last couple of games. I felt like this was him saying, "Shut the fuck up! I'm here to play and I'm ready to play." For me, J Dub, I consistently see what he's doing right now. I get really excited. He had 15 points, 3 steals, yet again, crazy amount of steals. 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Was pretty efficient for the night. 7 for 12 from the field goal and 1 for 2 and 3. 31 minutes of play. I felt like J Dub did a great, outstanding job at doing what he does so well. And he missed a dunk tonight. What do we see? We saw him go more of a finesse look towards the bucket. I liked it. Like I wasn't used to J Dub, going for layups, but he was, and he was doing it consistently. And it was nice to see that, it's not just about dunking. It things too. So,
We saw some great plays from Dort tonight. He's been struggling finishing inside the arc quite a bit.
hmm,
He started making some more plays. There was a lot of momentum going for him that way. I was impressed with the type of player he is with the ball in his hand more. But obviously, making these types of shots, taking that next step is going to be a big part of his progression. But as the game tightened and we were able to get an extra possession from another offensive charge he drew on a screen, you just can tell that this is all working together. It's not
hmm.
exactly fitting together perfectly at this moment. But overall, in the long run, what we're seeing is this whole thing working. Last year, without Shea, those are some of the ugliest games of the season or of any Thunder games ever. And this year, between the Suns and the Kings, two of the better teams in the West, we're right there, and we got to love this progression.
Yeah, and let's just talk about one of my favorite players coming off the bench. He had already played in a game today. That was Lindy Waters. He was in the G League game. And he comes in and plays 17 minutes, but man, it seemed like he was out there for a whole lot longer than 17 minutes the way he's playing. I would like before I say he was out there for like 25, 26 minutes. Man, 17 minutes. That's how impactful he was out there. Is he was always doing something good. He was always doing meaningful to the team, and he had 12 points. He had 2 steals. He had an assist. He had 7 rebounds. He had a couple tip balls out there. He had hustle plays out there. He was doing everything. And the thing about Lindy Waters is that from improvement with him consistently. And the more I see it, the more I fall in love with this young man because he can do so many great things. And let's just be honest, have a young man that's it's a homegrown young man where it comes from the same state that you have your professional team from. It's awesome. Grew up right down the road and more from Oklahoma City. So for me, having this young man be part of this, or Norman be part of this, I want to see him do this because to me, Lindy Waters is special, and it's for me to be able to see him put this stuff together.
Well, we appreciate everybody joining us. We're going to be back after the game or during the game on Tuesday against the Kings. We hope that you'll join us live like everybody who did. Thank you so much for joining us before the game, during the game, after the game. We love you.